You're a little I gave you a pass, but now Mr. Taylor's gonna kick your ass.
Now Lisa has to go, but have no fear because Riley and Amy will take it from here.
Woo!
I just had to start with that wonderful, beautiful sort of freestyle that Lisa busted out, I'll say.
Yeah.
In the premiere episode of season 7 of Vanderpump Rules.
That was like some old school humor, not seen in many decades. The like goof rap, like, "Hey kids, I'm here to say."
Yeah, the doing drugs is not the way. No, everything about it was so jarring. I was like, is this indicative of Lisa's decline on Vanderpump Rules?
Her mental decline.
Mental and the rationale for keeping her in this universe, or is it something that Jeremiah said, you gotta rap? Have you ever freestyle, Lisa? And she goes, I'll bust one out. But I think it's a little bit of a sign of something about the shifting of the current on Vanderpump Rules a little bit, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I will say I enjoyed this episode more than I expected. Like I was like, season 7's got juice.
Oh, me too. It's good. Yeah, it didn't feel so far adrift from what we've been recapping on season 6. So far, and the preview looked good. Obviously, some huge iconic moments coming up. I didn't sense a sort of like a completely inauthentic reality at this point. A couple moments maybe, but overall, I mean, for me still, the most jarring part is that they're pretending that Katie and Sandoval and Ariana and Lala are clocking into work. I was like, season 7?
They took it as long as they possibly could.
Oh my God. Well, before we rip into it, because we already started talking about it, is there anything that you wanted to say before we recap this episode? I saw that Bethany Frankel and Stassi Schroeder made their huge big-time runway debut for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
I think Brittany was there too, but people keep saying I'm wrong. But I thought Brittany said I'm going to be there too, but I haven't seen like one shred of proof about it or any evidence. But
I saw Bethany walk the runway, and I saw Stassi walk the runway, which I wasn't surprised on Bethany's behalf, but I was a little surprised that Stassi wanted to bear it all. Like she seems a little more conservative in that area, I would have thought, but
I was too. It didn't seem like I would have thought that this is something that Stassi wanted to do in her life, is sort of like be a part of a runway. You know, maybe it was a dream of hers forever, but it kind of seemed a little out of the wheelhouse for Stassi. But she did a great job. I don't know. Did you see the video?
I did.
It was cool. She went like this. I'll go on YouTube, but it was kind of like when she saw, because they walked in counter to each other, and Stassi gave big blowing kisses, I think, to Bethany, and then Bethany's was fun. Bethany went like she like got to the middle, and she like kind of went like hey hey hey, did it kind of a pronounced.
She was wearing a thong.
Oh my God! What? Yeah, it's like what kind of what? I mean, I didn't know anything about it other than I just I saw this on Instagram.
Is Sports Illustrated still like? Is print alive and well? Like, what is Sports Illustrated anymore? Like,
true, yeah. I think they've got a huge digital presence now. They're definitely Sports Illustrated. I don't think about them ever. I don't even enjoy sports, or not enjoy, but I never got into it, so I never had any sort of, appreciation for that. So I don't know what the hell they're doing.
I remember, I guess it's been a year, Alex Earl, who I barely know who that is, she did it last year. And I remember watching that, and I bet Bethany was inspired by her because she like wants to be her kind of. But I'll just say, made me want to spray tan. They were sprayed for the gods. They looked like Teresa when she did that bodybuilding competition.
Oh my God! Oh yeah. So it made you want to get a full spray tan.
I mean, it makes you look so good. Like you can hide everything with a spray tan. It makes you look like 15 pounds lighter, literally.
Who would have thought the secret to beauty was just being a little tan?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Because I watch Vanderpump Rules, and they all talk about their tans and leaving spray tans. It's kind of like a Bravo trope at this point, leaving a bunch of spray tan all over the place. It's like that. Everyone agrees pretty much unanimously that just a little bit of tan really makes people look beautiful. I've never gotten a fake I think I got a fake tan once when I was in high school at 17. I went into a tanning booth with my friends, and that was the only time I ever did it.
Or
I went into a booth.
Harsh lights.
We kind of were like doing like, we thought we were in like Jackass or something. We kind of like went in and we just were like being, I don't know why. I think we wanted to actually, I think it was more vain than that. I think we wanted to look hot and cool like some of the cooler kids in high school. And so we all did it once. And I think I just got
that Final
red.
Destination. Oh
No,
wait, is it Final Destination? Yeah, right. Where someone gets trapped in the tanning booth, because I think that also happens in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, or is that like a steam room? Anyways, but yeah. I think it's Final Destination where something happens where like a nail falls and the hook closes and then something heavy falls on the thing and they get like scorched to death.
Oh my God, so scary. Yeah, I'm glad they graduated. I don't think people do booths anymore, right?
Some people do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
it's like psychotic.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know. I mean, I would definitely do a spray tan someday. Like maybe before BravoCon.
Yeah, you should get the abs like Zach Wickham.
I would love to. Is there a place where you and I could just go both bronze up and get
There's
ready?
There's a chain. If you're at my house, we can go to Sugared and Bronzed to further dox myself.
Yeah. How much would it cost?
I think it's like getting pricier by the year. It might be like 60 something bucks. It could be like 70.
And how long does it last? And will it rub off on everything? Like, will my bed be soaked?
If you go swimming, it lasts less long. It's like you get sprayed. It doesn't rub off on stuff because it's like a clear coat. And then you let it develop as long as you want it to, like, it'll keep getting darker the longer you wait to wash it off. So you get to like decide.
Is it good for you?
It's fine.
Okay, good. All right. I would love to be bronze as hell for no reason at BravoCon. So
we should go like full like Tim and Eric, like Crimbus. Like,
that's what I was thinking.
Behind
actually.
the candelabra with like white, huge teeth.
Yeah, we fall asleep and we never rub it off, so it gets just like the craziest tan you've ever seen in your life. Like, I would love to show up, just radiant and bronzed. But anyway, well, what made us think about? Oh, you said huge win for spray tan community because Stassi and Bethany and Teresa Giudice
so bronzed.
Yeah, that was it. I saw that Janet also said that she was Cameron Diaz's assistant for a number of years.
It said until the Valley.
Wow. And then it said something, I don't know where, I didn't read enough about it, but it said some connection with Jeffrey Epstein. And I was like, what the hell, where did that come from? I was like, what's going on there?
I'm going to need you to know the details.
Yeah, maybe at some point for
She's
sure.
She's on the logs?
No, I think maybe Cameron, maybe. Yeah, that is kind of a salacious thing to just like tease out there.
Drop and run.
Janet is recalling her past connection with actress Cameron Diaz months after Jeffrey Epstein drama. I'm not sure. Okay.
Cameron Diaz has Jeffrey Epstein drama?
I get Bravo alerts, and this one, Cameron Diaz got embroiled in Jeffrey Epstein's file leak case earlier this year. I'm not sure why Janet had to comment on that and where she commented on that.
She loves mess.
Oh my God.
That's
well, anyway.
the biggest mess of all.
Totally. Well, I'll get to the bottom of that absolutely before the next time we record.
I didn't know that Cameron, usually I see on the dark web the celebrities that people are always bringing up in relation to him, and I didn't know she was one of them, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Kathy Griffin, speaking of her, they love to say that she's like on Epstein Island and drinking adrenochrome.
Oh my God. Well, let me just say this, because Cameron Diaz is famously litigious. The actress publicist said Cameron has never met Jeffrey Epstein, nor was she ever in the same place as him or had any association with him whatsoever, regardless of the fact he may or may not have mentioned her name or implied that he knew her. So that was kind of a Jeffrey flop. He was just saying...
he's like, I love Charlie's Angels.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm sorry that I touted some fake news at the start of Turtle Time. We shouldn't have dug into news. But anything else you want to say before we...
No, let's dig into this shit.
Oh, we also want to say this is coming out Monday. If you haven't seen this yet, Amy posted a wonderful post on the Patreon. Take a little bit of time out of your day, Villa Rosa VIPs. We have offered you the chance to share your voice with us. We want to know what's the most vibrant, fun housewives trip that we can recap. So I think today or pretty soon will be the last time you can vote. I think we're really leaning towards Morocco last time I checked, right? It was
looks like it. Wow, we have over 100 votes.
That's amazing. We'll find new ways to, engage with the Patreon community and do voting, because it makes a lot of sense. Like, we would have just done that shitty Jersey trip that I recommended. No, I'm just kidding. I love that Jersey trip so much. Someday I hope we do recap it. But it's good to know, what the Villa Rosa VIPs want next. And so we'll definitely fulfill that. It looks like we're going to do Morocco, potentially.
Morocco. Great. I just watched Scary Island for fun yesterday, and so I'm not mad about staying in the Roniverse. With
a first-time viewer, right?
Yes.
Did they enjoy it?
Very much. It's impossible not to.
Yeah, it's so fun. Well, good. Yeah, in like canon terms, we did that Turtle Time trip, Scary Island. That might have been the last one we did, and so we're kind of just going only like a year in the future with our knowledge to recap Morocco, because it's a season 4 trip. So that works beautifully. But there's still time. Don't get disenfranchised if your vote wants to go to something else. It's not too late to get that Jersey Miraval trip with the horse therapy that I love so much. But we'll do that in the future if it doesn't come now. But anyway, I think you and I, Amy, let's close the book on news. I'm sorry I brought some of that stuff up. Let's open the book on season 7 of Vanderpump Rules, a season that I have watched probably twice all the way through. Yeah. But like I've said before, this is uncharted territory for me in terms of thinking about stuff, recapping it, talking about it with people. Surely, I mean, talking about it with you. Yeah. For the first time. So I think it'll be really fun. And I think we both said right before this we said that already, that we enjoyed this episode. Pretty good start to the season. You don't see the decline of Vanderpump Rules yet, at least from this episode.
Yes. All right. Well, of course, it opens at Sir. Lala is telling, is it Sheena? She is saying her ideal weight. She likes to be between 120 and 123 because she likes to feel her ass bounce. It's so fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, tells us pretty matter-of-factly between 120 pounds, 123, and then that feeling of when her ass is bouncing up and down. It doesn't get much better than that. And Sheena kind of agrees. Not really, she doesn't say anything, but she's very happy to know. It's kind of funny that's the first scene of season 7.
Yeah, she's like, yeah. So then we're getting our shit set up. Sandoval arrives. He's like, oh, I forgot my earplugs. James plays his damn music so loud. And James and Raquel are setting up for a See You Next Tuesday, which is in full-fledged action at this point.
Also Billy Lee. So Lala's at the host stand, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Billy Lee goes, no phones allowed, and here are the menus from the garden. And Lala goes, no phones allowed. And then she goes, this bitch thinks she's my boss. That's really cute. And I was like, damn, shit is bad between Billy Lee and Lala. And why the hell did Billy Lee criticize Lala's phone use at the...
She's like, I don't even work here, bitch.
Yeah, like, I just clocked in. It's obviously the first episode of the season. I'll be here for 1 hour until filming ends, and then you'll never see me again until next week when we film here.
Have we talked about... I know that Charlie demystified that it was total bullshit, but do you think that legally they do have to get, like, payroll checks from Sir Restaurant for even pretending to work there?
Well... I don't know how by the book Lisa is in terms of pay and employment practices at Sir. Right. I won't even begin to try to think about that. But yes, I would think legally if Lala is behind the host stand doing any work, picking up the phone, guiding somebody to a table even for 30 minutes, that she should technically be paid by the restaurant, or less, because that's unpaid labor. Even though she's filming for a reality show, which is a completely different job. I want to ask you, it's not too fun to talk about this shit, but I think we're getting to the end of where this is even close to being realistic. Is it exactly what Charlie said, or what you would assume, where the cast just say, I have a call time, we have 2 hours here, James is DJing, Jax is going to pop in, Katie's going to serve one person, Lala's at the host stand, and then that's their shift, a shift for filming purposes only, and then they don't do it until the next week or 2 weeks when another scene is happening. They're not intermittently picking up shifts at all during this season.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's probably the next episode. I think it's literally next week.
Yeah, I think it always starts like earlier than you think, earlier and earlier
Yeah.
each season.
So that's my boots on the ground that I have where they were all there. Jeremy, I believe actually worked there.
Me too. Yeah.
So that doesn't really count, but he like served us our food. And then everyone else was sort of just like milling about. But then Sandoval and Ariana were behind the bar, but it definitely felt like vanity,
Yes.
like pouring shots in people's mouth, like there to be like seen.
Yeah, it's an appearance for them.
Yeah. But they were working, like they were there all fucking day. But, it was almost like, it is the same thing as a paid appearance somewhere where they host a party kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I won't get bogged down in this. I have to note that like seeing Katie pretend to like wait on tables is just, I mean, like it's so ridiculous at this point. I mean, I believe like Sheena is okay. Like, I don't know. I mean, she loves to be at certain stuff, but like Katie still pretending to do shifts here. Sandoval and Ariana clocking in. I was just like, what the hell is happening here? But whatever, that they were still trying to pretend like this was the case. Okay. Jax and Brittany's apartment. I go, are we in an alternate universe here? Because they show hands touching bread, touching meat, touching cheese. I go, well, if we're at Jax and Brittany's apartment, surely those hands must be Brittany's. She's making Jax a sandwich. But no, in fact, the camera pans up, and it's Jax making a delicious turkey sandwich for Brittany. And then immediately as the viewer, you're like, oh my God, Jax is fully redeemed. He loves Brittany so much, the tables have turned, and now he's kissing ass to get back in Brittany's good graces. What did you think about that sandwich he made?
Looked nice. Lindsay Hubbard would have to say, you made a sandwich for me lately.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Jax and Brittany really do have a claim to sort of the sandwich catchphrase in their relationship, but Lindsay, she definitely like cornered the market on that one, talking about sandwiches. So even you're right, she would be like, whoa, a sandwich was definitely made lately in that relationship between them.
Jax is laying it on real thick in this era. I can't remember how I felt at the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I was always holding him in judgment and not believing him. And the way that Sandoval questions his motives almost immediately with the engagement here, I think was sort of the audience POV of like, wait, like what's going on here? But it's almost like creepy how much he's acting like a saint. It's weird.
Yeah, it's for me, yes, I can totally see the world, and especially with recent events of Jax putting on this American Psycho-esque mask to participate in good boyfriend activities. I also have to blame production for making this an arc, and then Jax being dutiful and being like, someone film me going to get tampons at the grocery store. Someone film me getting flowers and groceries. It's like they created sort of artifice, and it makes Jax look even more psychotic, when in reality they're just trying to push what they think is the semi-reality here, which is that Jax is treating Brittany better. So I think it's those things in tandem. And then with without even a shrug, Jax goes, I said no to that hockey job that you all have been thinking about for a year. He goes, I had to choose between the dream job of my life, hockey social media coordinator for a huge hockey team, or the dream girl. And Brittany is like, oh my God, heart eyes, and like she is just so smitten with Jax at this point. She goes, oh my God. She's just like, she's so happy. He's saying all the right stuff. It's all so bittersweet and sad knowing the context that we have now.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. One of the things that she lists besides grocery shopping and buying her tampons is that he helps with the dogs. I'm like, what was he doing before? Like, literally.
Not lifting a finger, probably.
7-pound dogs. They're like the easiest creatures alive.
No, he probably did absolutely nothing. Like, he probably did no chores, no work, the dogs were hers, never made a sandwich, and then he considered the reality television money and the fact that he got her on the show, he held that over her, and made her work for his affection. But now he's doing the opposite. He's putting gloves on her for her to do her makeup.
Why was she wearing those?
She pulled this little thing. I kind of have kind of a setup similar to Brittany. She pulled this little makeup thing over to herself, and I don't know, maybe she gets I don't know, but maybe she gets a bunch of makeup all over her hands. Maybe one of the ingredients to her makeup routine requires getting your hands really filthy or something.
Yeah, she was wearing her sandwich artist gloves to put her makeup on. She brings up that she's still upset about the other night James freestyled at See You Next Tuesday, and this is where he does his iconic just got rich, make hop a black wraith. Everybody remember when Jax fucked Faith?
Yeah. The everybody remember is so funny because this is the first episode since, and obviously the clientele that were dancing to James's music, it's yes, that was a huge deal last season. I do agree. I don't think of this as bad as Jax and Brittany treat this.
Yeah, are you surprised?
It's just, I believe him that he freestyled. His DJ performances are all about giving Easter eggs and what's that called when you laden your material with callbacks and references to get people super excited. So that's all it was. He's using a major plot point as part of his DJ booth. I do want to say really quick before we move on, Brittany goes, "You've changed everything, Jax, but the one thing you can't change is making those really repellent noises with your bodily noises." And Jax goes, "I'm sorry, I just can't help it." And I couldn't believe this, but on mic, it erupts this horrible sound from within Jax's body. And I was like, imagine the sound guy who's got a mic hooked up to Jax, and you just gotta go. The guy's got headphones in. He's, what the fuck did you just do? That is so disrespectful and horrible.
The little hairs on the boom mic curled.
Just awful. The disrespect. The sound person after was probably what the fuck did you do that for? Can you please not? I was with you for an hour. You can.
And Brittany's oh my god, that's nasty.
Yeah, you can keep that mic, by the way. God damn, did you have to do that? It's so disgusting, like we always say. Anyway.
We get to see, apparently Jax has rage texted James in response to his rap. And I didn't remember this. He goes, "You haven't seen anything yet, son. You are done. This old man is going to come after you like a fucking train. Come meet me now. Let's fight like men. I am ready."
I love
that's giving cocaine.
I love those last three sentences. Come meet me now. Let's fight like men. I am ready.
Imagine getting that text. I hope he used all the little Apple iMessage things where they'll boom or shake.
Oh, I hope so too. Oh, that would hit so hard with the earthquake notification. Come meet me now. Let's fight like men. I am ready. This is really not projection. I don't know the term, but it's really not James's fault. He just unearthed a huge wound, a huge open wound that Jax and Brittany still have.
Yeah.
And so it hurts Brittany because Jax did this, but they're so removed from it, sort of in a fantasy version of their relationship. So James even referencing it, they now are pitting it on him, you're responsible now because we're in a dream over here. You just fucked up. So it's all completely projection and deflection and really representative of how they probably haven't truly healed. There's still a lot of trauma from that. Yeah. So James is just the scapegoat for that horrible trauma in their relationship. And then Ariana and Tom agree. Oh, no, we're not there yet. Ariana and Tom are just also relaying this story at the same time at Sir to James. And he was like, I had to freestyle. It comes out from anywhere. I had to freestyle. And they go, well, that was not right. But it's a little bit, Ariana and Tom, I think at this point, like James more than Jax and appreciate James more, and he's more a part of their friend group. So their disapproval of James was almost perfunctory. It was just like, let's just get it on camera that we didn't like that, but they don't seem that disapproving of it at all. I don't think they really care in defense of Jax.
Yeah. Ken and Lisa roll up to Sir, and someone from a car yells, "I love your restaurant. I love your guys' restaurants."
Yeah. I don't know what was going on there. Because why would you say, because any fan would say, Lisa and Ken, I love you both so much. Yeah. But then people who maybe didn't know them too well would say, you guys are walking into that restaurant. I love all of your restaurants.
Right. Or they know Lisa very well, and they know that that's what she wants to hear.
I love your restaurant. I love your guys' restaurants, acknowledging that they have 4 that are operating now. Kind of a weird chant to yell, but Ken and Lisa give something back. They say, thank you.
Oh, cool. Then we get a sad update that in between seasons, Lala's dad has died, and this is the same time that Lisa's brother has just died. So there's a little segment about those things, which is a bummer.
Yeah, totally. Lala is like, you almost like, I have to remember to give her grace this entire season. I mean, 2 months after, and she's filming, and then Lisa is 5 weeks removed from her brother committing suicide. So they're both, I mean, like, to pick up and film when you're in that mental state is, I just can't even imagine how hard that would be for both.
Jax was pissed. He's like, that's my thing.
Yeah, he was like, I was gonna go nuts with that on season 7. Lala's dad's death is horrific. Like he had a stroke, and then I think he was in the car when he had it, and so he got into a fatal accident. It's like horrible. So it's a even another level of a tragedy, for Lala. So does this coincide with? Lisa Vanderpump was saying that she didn't want to do season 9 of Beverly Hills because it was too close to the death of her brother. But Alex Baskin said, this is going to be perfect if you do it. It's going to be the perfect place. So this is now we are in the last era of Lisa on Beverly Hills.
Yeah. I think she said that she regretted it.
Yeah.
Like, she wishes that she didn't.
Yeah, she said that Alex Baskin pulled out the big guns and, like, said, you get the full arc. You don't have to film with many people. Like, we will treat you respectfully. And then that's when Lucy Juicy, Apple Goosey. I mean, Lisa was a little off her game for some of those things. But I believe that she really didn't want to film and come back, and she was in a horrible place, and so that kind of adds to the reason why she didn't participate in the reunion, like she said on Hot Mic.
We got a funny comment, I think it was on TikTok maybe, on our clip where we were talking about Jax's rehab diaries on the Valley, and so like we got like 5 comments saying like he didn't even go anywhere, like that's just fake as hell, and someone was like, why did they even bother putting the little camcorder on the iPhone footage when we all know he's in Alex Baskin's basement?
Yeah, that was so great. I'm so naive sometimes. Like, the idea that Jax didn't even go anywhere is like not something I would have ever thought.
Yeah,
but
we
then
didn't go like galaxy brain like that. Like, we need to really consider some options when we think about these things.
Totally. Like Jason dropped him off. We never saw the outside. We never saw where this was. The fact that the therapist could come with them outside to the park, the fact that he has all this time to do all of this other stuff, like and then Jax's history of lying, I almost could believe that theory is just as valuable or possible as what we've been told so far. Also, like, well, anyway, we'll talk about that on the Valley. But that was a great comment. I didn't even think that could possibly be the case, that he was just lying about the entire thing.
I love that conspiracy.
Yeah.
Sheena's waiting tables at Sir. She's completely getting hit on and hitting on a customer who like asks her if she's single. She, I think, like exchanges numbers with them at one point, and she's like, she loves it.
Yeah, she had said in the season 6 reunion that she wants to remain single for a year, I think. So this is her single era and she's loving it. She says that Rob kind of gave her a disgraceful, disrespectful breakup. He said, "Come over, Sheena, I got some horrible news for you." And she came over and then he played fantasy football draft for 2 hours. And then he goes, "Hey, and by the way, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore." So Sheena's kind of bummed out, obviously, about that.
Yes. Jax drops off Brittany at work, but he comes in because he's like, if James says one more thing, I'm going to knock him out. They also cruise through the kitchen really quick, and Lisa's like, "Joe, what's the daily special?" But they didn't let us hear it.
I put the captions on.
It said,
it said French fries with ketchup. She goes, "Joe, I need my daily fish."
Chilean sea bass, darling.
What is Joe still there? I think I looked and Joe's no longer working there. Yeah, I think he brought out a fish head instead of a fish body on one of the plates, and Lisa couldn't excuse his behavior anymore.
Let's check his LinkedIn. Maybe he's at like, I don't know, like, what's the best restaurant in LA? Like Dunsmore or something. It's like he's like the head chef at like
I think he's probably
Michelin restaurant.
I think he's probably at Dunsmore. I don't know any. I don't know. Do we have good restaurants? Famously, well, not famously, but the New York Times always. They're kind of like the chef or not the chef, the critic in Ratatouille. What do you say when critics have their nose held up? They hate Los Angeles restaurants, and I know it's so ridiculous. They think they have the best food in the world, so they barely ever include.
To pretend that LA is not a good food city is absurd.
It's ridiculous. Well, tell it to the New York Times, whatever they call their restaurant reviews.
Ask Lisa.
Yeah,
she's making some of the best food cuisine.
She's got 4 bordering on Michelin star restaurants. Pump. Well, Villa Blanca's no longer.
They're reinventing the form.
Yeah, totally. Jax goes, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy. Should I just go in now and talk to him? And then he goes up, and it's kind of like Peter is like, "Oh my god, what's Jax doing here?" And then also, when Lisa and Ken got in, and like again, you can just see that everyone is waiting like an amusement park or what's the right analogy, but everyone is just waiting for these moments. So like when Ken and Lisa walked in, like you can just see people just filming them actively. Every head turns. Like this is exactly what they want. And then Jax goes up to the DJ booth right now, and he says, "Guess what? Your worst nightmare just came true. Every event that me and Brittany have, you're not going to any of them all summer." And Jax knows. He's like the cat that ate the canary because he knows he's got some big events planned this year. This is Jax's season in terms of events.
It's almost like fourth wall breaking of like, we won't film with you basically. And James is like, "That's horrible."
Yeah, it is, because that is like the biggest piece of ammunition that Jax has, especially knowing what his arc is going to be this season. And James is bummed out. Probably takes him back to like season 4, you know, when he was not included. And then Jax goes, "How could you have done this? I just got you a beautiful gift out of nowhere." What's that called? A gift just fell from the sky from Jax, like for nothing. And we find out it was extremely limited edition white Supreme underwear, and they cut to James in the mirror doing kind of an Elvis impression wearing these limited edition underwear, and you can tell that James
forgot about this.
Me too. And James loved the underwear. He was posing in the mirror wearing them, and he goes, "I do feel terrible that this happened after he just got me those amazing underwear." Yeah,
I remember that being sort of a funny thing that came up a lot, like the Supreme underwear. I forgot as sort of a funny little thing. But yeah, James is like, when they're fighting, he's trying to keep hushed tones because he's like, "You're going to get me fired. Like, I'm barely back here, like, trying to keep my shit together." And
no one wants
Jax
this.
Doesn't care.
"I promise you, no one here wants to see you yelling at me. Absolutely not. They're eating their French fries with aioli ketchup, and they don't want to see 2 cast members on Vanderpump Rules fight. So please, keep it down, Jax." Oh, we also have to say that Brittany was in the audience when James did his freestyle. He was freestyling his ass off. And then Brittany was going, "Woohoo, James, I love," I'm not going to do her accent, but "I love freestyle rapping." And then he goes, "Does everybody remember when Jax fucked Faith?" And she said her smile and cheering went to the exact opposite, whatever the opposite of cheering is, internal suffering.
Yeah.
And that's when she was so mortified because she was in front of a bunch of people who know this happened. And so that made it 10 times worse, you know?
Yeah. We forgot to bring up, I think it was in Secrets Revealed, like right before this episode, they show Brittany's impression of James's English accent, and it's some of the most deranged sounds I've ever heard.
Yeah, do you recall what it was? I don't even remember, but I think that you just teed this up really well because two different people do James's accent in this episode. Lala and Stassi both.
Right.
So it sounds like people constantly try to do it. But yeah, we would have never heard Brittany's attempt at it had we not watched Secrets Revealed. But yeah, it was very, very bad. I mean,
Very
one of the
bad.
worst. But I would say Stassi and Lala's are pretty bad too later in this episode.
Yeah, no one can top James's American accent. That works every time.
Can you even begin? I don't want to make us do impressions live right now in the moment, but could you even start to do James's? I always think about the whoa.
Yeah. Whoa, that's
Whoa.
horrible.
That's horrible. Jax. What's wrong, Jax? I can't even do it because British accents are much more nuanced than we as Americans think. So whenever you start to do one, you default to the one you know, and it's never right. But I noticed that it made me not feel as bad for you and I, who've been recapping the show for 2 years, and we can't do one. You are so much better. I can't do one accent, and it's like, well, if Stassi can't do a James, who the hell am I? Right. She sees him all the time. He's on her show. Okay, Ken and Lisa now get in on it, right? They go, that's where we're at.
Yes, they're checking in on how everything's going. Sandoval always spills the tea to Lisa. Ken is talking to James, and he's like, Lisa, Jax just came in and yelled at him. Can you believe this? And then they talk about what he did with the freestyle. And he's like, I was freestyling creatively.
Yeah, he has to explain to everyone freestyles, they just come out of nowhere. He needed to rhyme a word with wraith, and what the fuck are you going to do other than faith? It's a perfect rhyme. He had to include wraith in it.
What kind of car is that?
He said it's like a limited edition Rolls Royce, or like a version of a new Rolls Royce, and so he really wanted to reference it for some reason.
I feel like that's a great, how in Slumdog Millionaire, the plot is that his entire life, like, prepared him to answer every single question. I feel like some magical thing will happen where we need to know a special kind of Rolls Royce, and for that reason, we will know.
Oh my God. You and I are on a game show called Name That Car. And then all of a sudden it says, we want you to know what a 2018 limited edition Rolls Royce was called. And you and I look at each other and we do the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We go, Jimmy, we just want you to know that we just won $1 million. It's a Wraith Regis film, and he's not going to be the host of this, but that's going to happen.
So it is written.
That's going to happen. And then this is when Lisa, we already alluded to this, but Lisa goes, I know what a freestyle is. Stop telling me. She goes, we can all rap, which I was like, what the hell are you about to say? We can all take the piss out of everybody, which I loved hearing her say that. Yeah. She hasn't said that in a while. And then that's when I'm not going to do it unless you want to do it. But that's when she goes into this. They add this like very dusty break beat, like 90s old beat. And then
she goes, you're a little shit. I'll give you a pass. But now Mr. Taylor's going to kick your ass.
And the voice she does, too, is very characteristic. It's like a raspy American accent. And I'm just like, I don't know. The things that led to get that moment on camera in the confessional, it boggles the mind. But I'm glad it exists.
She's probably on, antidepressants at this point. She's just off,
Yeah, it was, it's kind of, it gave me a lot of hope and I think that recapping the next few seasons are going to be really fun to remember random weird moments like this that I don't have any memory of this.
I keep saying this, but we should just be posting on TikTok every time something weird as hell from our rewatch happens so that they're immortalized.
We should. That would be good. It would have obviously been much better to start at season 1 and do it throughout, but
God forbid.
It would have been good to green screen some moments and just talk about it. Maybe that's a project that you and I will take on someday, because it is really fun. One is coming up that I love that I'll share with you once we get there. But okay, now we are at the Belmont, which is sort of like becomes the central perk of the Vanderpump Rules cast for the next 4 seasons. I don't know when the Belmont got introduced, but it seems like Beau is sort of the reason why we started getting Belmont a lot. And then once they all started to go there, they probably went in the past, but I don't remember.
To go to the bathroom.
Yes, totally. I think that the Belmont is a part of, I don't know, but it seems very characteristic of the later seasons of Vanderpump Rules. And then, speaking of, Beau pops his head out for the first time on camera to go meet with Schwartz. He's with Stassi, and then they're just having a little fun Schwartz get together where Jax is ultimately going to be there too. And they give us a little rundown of their relationship. They are 6 months in, but they are just out of the honeymoon phase. And Tom Schwartz goes, "Are you still learning things about each other?" And Beau goes, "Every day is a new adventure." But he's being humorous. And that's his first line on Vanderpump Rules, is like kind of like a joke, mocking the idea of like that he's learning everything about Stassi new every day.
Yeah. We get a montage of all the funny, goofy stuff they do together. Stassi says she finally feels like she can be herself around him, which I think is true. They seem I get a good vibe.
Yeah, I've already said this, but they show like she goes, he's the funniest person alive. And then he has a sideways hat on and he's got one eye closed. And then the next one he's clearly doing the mannequin challenge when that was popular. And
they're wearing like sailor hats. They're like tongues out.
I don't know if you'll know this reference, but it reminds me of a little bit. Beau is much better, but it does remind me of the OC when Seth and what's Rachel Bilson's character? Summer were dating. Yeah. And then do you remember when Summer starts to meet that guy that was really, really funny, that Seth didn't enjoy his humor because it was really big and over the top? Do you remember that? Anyway, it's Beau is kind of like that in a way, where Schwartz is funnier than Beau. And Stassi is funnier than Beau. But because Beau is like whatever, outlandish or big, they all are like, this is the funny guy of the group. And I've always felt that way about Beau. Like, I think his humor is, well, no offense to him, but I just, I think it's because it's just so present, that they have to acknowledge his humor in a way.
Goofball. But when Stassi talks about him, she literally in her confessional cries because she's like, I just love him so much. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, and I'm speaking as a Beau, we know Beau now, but at this moment, he's the best thing in the world, and I completely understand why Stassi looks at him so lovingly. He's so much better than all of her past boyfriends. So I'm in that mindset with her.
Yeah. We learn here that Schwartz has begun his journey taking half shots, which we know he struggles with to this day. And then Jax joins, which you're like, oh, like Stassi and Beau hang out with Jax. Like, that is funny. And also Stassi does, this is when Jax goes, I talked to that little shit James, and he's not invited to any of my shit, and then he complained and cried or whatever, and then Stassi does her James impression, which is not great, but she goes, you can't do that to white Kanye, and then everybody laughs at Stassi for trying out that impression in real time. Then cut to, see you next Tuesday. Katie and Brittany are working. James is playing I Just Took Two, that song that he has. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I just took two. I forget how the first line goes. But then this is when Lisa goes, I heard about the awful, awful freestyle rapping that James did. And then Brittany kind of tries to lay it on thick for Lisa. Like, I think not appropriately. She goes, it was so embarrassing. Lisa, you had to be there. It was just so mortifying. Kind of trying to put James in the doghouse with Lisa again. When really this is about the actions of Jax. They're not
we're not healed from that yet. So I didn't really
Yeah.
appreciate Brittany doing that to James.
Yeah, she's like, he made me cry and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So then we go back to the Belmont. Jax reveals that he's proposing on Thursday. He's going to see the ring tomorrow. And Stassi realizes that she's the first girl to know. And she's stressed out about holding that knowledge in because she's going to see Brittany the next day.
Yeah. Also, there's for the rest of the episode, when everyone learns that this is taking place, everyone is sort of divided mentally, conflicted about how to feel about this. You see it on Beau's face, you see it on Stassi's face. They all sort of have to justify why they're happy in the moment for this. And then it goes to like Katie and Kristen later in the episode. Everyone is kind of like, is this a good idea? Is this the right time? But by default, you're just happy because you know what Jax has been through. But you watch Stassi process that right now in this moment. But then she is absolutely elated to be the first person included to know. And she's going to carry that burden for the rest of the episode.
Yes. And she does say that everyone has noticed a huge change in Jax, but she does warn that if he does anything else to hurt Brittany, that she will find gross new ways to crucify him.
Yeah, I would say growth should not be judged in 6-month increments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She also sort of like implies to Beau that she would love to also get engaged, and he's like, can we relax?
He goes, it's 6 months. Jax does like some, like, I don't know what kind of humor this was. He goes, I've only told one person, and the Uber driver, and my local hot dog vendor. And then he goes, but I'm not worried anybody will let the cat out of the bag, except maybe my local hot dog vendor. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? A hot dog vendor? Like, was this like some New
like
York
where?
City humor that you were one of the, like, a Dodger
Maybe
dog?
he got a bacon wrapped hot dog after a concert or something.
Possibly, but just a random reference. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Random. Okay, then we go to the tattoo shop. It's the place that Jax usually goes. It's Lala, Katie, and Kristen. They're getting some piercings.
One silly moment, just right when they walk in, that you only see Katie and Lala, and then they go, I'm Katie, and I'm Lala, and then I swear, if you rewatch the scene, Kristen just pops out from behind them, like off the ground or something, and they go, surprise, and then Kristen is there. It's a really weird edit. It looks like Kristen was crouching behind them and then pops out. But anyway, then they go to the scene.
Great. Lala reveals that her man's divorce is finally finalized, so they can be out on these streets. And she says, I can finally say his name. It's Randall, which I remember that being like the funniest thing I had ever heard because it's like the worst name. Like,
hey, wait. What about our Villa Rosa VIPs named Randall?
oh no. Sorry, Randall.
There's like 7 of them.
Okay,
well,
by that I just mean if you had to come up with a name that was not elusive and like a sexy reveal,
yes,
it's a particularly huge. It's as if it was like Dwight.
Yes, that's the sentiment I agree with. Now, and I want to personally apologize. There's about, I think, 9 Villa Rosa VIPs named Randall. So I think it's the reveal. Yes, but I think it's the reveal of what you just said. It's not like what's a sexy name? Rad. Chad. Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad.
Yeah, what is a cool name?
Brad. Chuck. No,
Chuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But Randall it is funny for her to have to announce it and be like, Blade. I can announce his name now. It's Blade. We'd all be like, oh my God, Blade is going to come out. But Randall is just, it's a funny name in juxtaposition of what we've heard. I completely agree with you.
And
but
his physical reveal when we get it is amazing as well. Like, you're like, wow.
We're already popping him in when we hear Randall, and that's why the reveal is so funny. But I have to say, I love the name Randall overall. I have 3 friends named Randall.
A quiz for you. Today, Robert De Niro is on Cinematrix. Sorry, VIPs, it'll be too late by the time you listen to this. But is there a obscure De Niro Randall? Is The Irishman the only one, or is there like something funky and stupid that they did together?
Yes, De Niro did. I think about 3 or 4 of those geezer
do you know
pleasers. If you told me that De Niro was in Midnight and the Switchblades, I would say I think he is. He did do,
because that's a Bruce Willis one, right?
Yeah, that one's Bruce Willis, but I swear I saw De Niro when I was going on Apple, scrolling through movies that you've never heard of in your life. De Niro is definitely in one of those called like Brute Force or Big, I don't know, Brute Force or something like that. But it would hurt to name it, right?
I wanted to pull one of those out of my ass so bad, but I did use the Alto Nights, which was pretty low.
Low recognition.
Low percentage,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You should get double the score because he plays two characters
so nice
in that.
He did it twice.
Yeah. De Niro, I have to say this. If you don't need money, which I guess De Niro does,
He's having kids.
I couldn't imagine squandering your legacy. I'm not at the age of 80 or 77, but I could not imagine squandering an almost perfect filmography with just a bunch of pure fucking shit in the last 10 years of your career, unless you have to justify for a bunch of kids. But I couldn't imagine being the type of person like Gene Hackman and Jack Nicholson get so much respect for me for just saying, I'm bowing out. I did one bad movie, Welcome to Mooseport, and you're never going to catch me doing another fucking shitty movie again. De Niro, at a certain point, like I watched this with, I watched the Robin Williams documentary, and the last 10 years of his life, this is not his fault, but he was doing absolute pure shit. They have to basically wash over it by being like, yeah, 1 hour photo, that's okay. But then they're like, World's Greatest Dad, directed by Bobcat Goldthwait and RV, and just pure trash. And I was like, oh my God, even Robin Williams had a horrible, awful end of his film career, to the point where the last thing he did was a CBS sitcom before they found out that he had his horrible disease.
Yeah. But, did you see, I saw it on like Twitter, but that Popeye was like the most coked out movie ever made, and that when they would send the reels back and forth, they were just like filled with coke.
Yeah, I saw that. People, there's like, if you watch one of the early prints at the Vista or whatever, it has huge coke smears all over the film where they were just ripping lines off it. I really want to watch Popeye. I've heard it's bad, and I think Altman is hit or miss completely. Like he's made some pure shit, but I still want to watch it just because it seems so weird that he decided to do it. Have you watched it?
I don't think I ever have. I feel like that's a kind of movie where I wish that I still smoked weed, because I think it's probably a visual feast of some kind, just because they like built all those sets and it's so weird.
Yeah, like the sets, like Robert Evans talks about the filming of that and what a nightmare it was in his book. Robert Evans' biography or memoir. Did you ever read that? The kid stays in the picture.
That sounds fun.
Oh, so it's so good. But Robin Williams, he had Popeye as his first movie, and then that was shit. People were like, this guy sucks as Popeye. And then Mork and Mindy got canceled. So Robin Williams had this drought of like 4 years where he just did stand-up and he didn't have a career. And then Good Morning Vietnam hit. And then that started the run of his legendary filmography for a while. But I never even knew he had that flop. Totally. Oh, my God. Okay, where the hell are we? Oh, she says Randall. Oh, here's huge. Kristen goes, how was See You Next Suck It Tuesday? And Katie goes, just as fucking awful as you could imagine. And Lala goes, and guess what? I hate James too. And then she goes, Randall and I were in a big tent at Coachella. He was wearing a flower crown and he was painted in a bunch of different colors. And then James came in and said, speaking of stuff that's inside and out, like you're wearing paint on the outside of your body, Randall, but we all know each other inside and out, specifically me and Lala. James said this.
Yeah.
And then Randall goes, I don't know if he was like on ecstasy or something, but it hit him really hard that James referred to himself having sex with Lala. And Lala goes, after that, James was dead to me. It's like, he did that last season. That fucking sucked. And then he said right to my, not fiance at this point, boyfriend's face that him and I used to have sex. So she's got major grudge with James. Yes. And that's that for the, for however long the season lasts. I don't know.
Yes. Then we go to Villa Blanca, which we rarely see. Ken and Lisa order a bottle of rosé, and the Toms join, and they bring her flowers, presumably because of her brother. And they only have 5 weeks till the Tom deadline. And Lisa's like, we need that cocktail list.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this scene confused me. I was like, what? How have you not done this yet? I mean, it's
I
like
could do that tonight.
we
could do it right now.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Spicy, like all you do is create your 6 favorite cocktails, name them something fun and funny that's references Vanderpump Rules, and you're done. And I was just like, how the fuck?
It's been a full season.
How the fuck are we here where you guys now Pandora, Lisa says Pandora is now going to handle the cocktail list. So they find out that they're going to have absolutely nothing to do with this, anything at Tom Tom. They didn't do the atmosphere. They don't have anything to do with the joie de vivre. And then they don't have anything to do with the food menu. And now if they don't get off their asses and get some cocktails in, Pandora is going to take over that list.
God.
I have a question too. This also made me wonder, why did the cocktail book that was a kind of a central point of Ariana and Tom's relationship 2 seasons ago, why have we never found out the status of what's going on with that? Ariana last season said it's on the back burner. We're not doing it, but like, why did that fall by the wayside? I know it ultimately comes out, but we just never
show it on the show.
I think they must do a shoot for it at some point, but I'm just, just talk about delayed business opportunities or whatever, like them not getting the cocktail list done. Like, where's that book that you've been talking about since season 5?
Right.
I think.
Yeah. Tom's like, we've been getting together every week for hours working on ideas for shots and all this stuff. And Lisa's very judgmental of the ideas. She's like, we can't be doing those, like, whatever the hell marijuana cocktails you want to do. And he's like, no, Lisa.
Yeah, Schwartz goes, just one. It's a big draw. And I'm like, damn, wow, Schwartz is like sticking up for CBD drinks more than anything he's ever done in his life. And then Tom gives, this is when I'm like, I don't know if he's being truthful, but he goes, I got a diamond cut press where you can press ice into the shape of a diamond. It's one of the sexiest things you've ever seen. And Lisa goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he goes, and also I'm talking to one of the most renowned glassmakers in Los Angeles, and I've got these custom cut glass shots that people can take home as gifts. And she goes, no. It's like, what are you talking about? We're not giving everybody...
She's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Although, I think that's a good idea because everyone that comes there is a tourist. So, like...
She's like, have you seen the fucking food I serve it, sir? I'm not giving people custom shot glasses. But, you're right. If it was plastic and they had, like, the Tom Tom logo on it, that is a great idea. But for now, at least it's not like, I'm not giving anything away. They're going to take my napkin holders and salt and pepper shakers no matter what, like...
Yeah, she goes, I'm sick of all these goddamn frivolous ideas. She's like the smoking Persia pussy with a feather up its ass on a ice succulent scorpion scrotum, unicorn urine, spice martinis. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it was what the hell was going on there? I guess she just wanted to, she was doing a comedic version of all of the, like, scorpion-infused shit that, Sandoval does, and she goes, that's all great. I want a urine-soaked spice martini, but I need to see it. The idea that Tom and Tom have neglected their one duty that they were responsible for is, so shocking at this point. And then they go, she lays the hammer down and says, Pandora is going to be overseeing this project. I don't know what you boys can do unless you get me a cocktail list ASAP. And then Tom Sandoval, who's always had a grudge against this entire process, says, why the fuck are we even calling it Tom Tom if now I'm not even responsible for the one corner of this business that I want to be, that you said I was responsible for? And it's like, well, did you not do it?
Right. Yeah, like, it was very simple, the task at hand, which this might be just total bullshit as well, but...
Yeah, I think Tom's elaborate, stupid stuff is a joke, but I just don't know what went into it, to pretend like they haven't thought about this cocktail list. And then they leave, and Ken goes, are they high on CMD now?
That was like the CBD boom at that time.
Have you done it?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how worthwhile of a derivative it is.
Yeah, I had gummies of those for a while, but it didn't impact me enough to ever seek them out again. I don't think I was like loving life on them. Okay,
right.
Brittany, Stassi, dog park. Interested?
Yeah, not much happens here. It's just to show that Stassi's super stressed out about not spilling the beans about Jax.
Yeah, kind of funny, though, to watch Stassi in this scene. I've never seen her as awkward as she is. Brittany is saying a bunch of stuff about Jax, and it sounds like Stassi is the type of person where if she knows a secret, it, like, really affects her to not be able to speak it. So
it's like full sitcom.
Yeah, she's going, and like being silly, and everything that Brittany says, she's like, Jax is so changed. And then Stassi's just nodding like she's bursting to get out. Beau's dog is named Refund, which I think is sort of indicative of his humor level overall.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's not a name.
You name it. Well, yeah, no offense to people who have sort of ironic dog names, but it's like, it's a dog that's potentially going to live with you for like, 15 to 18 years. Do you want it to be a joke?
Yeah.
I mean,
Refund.
Yeah, and I guess I like joke names too, but just Refund, I don't know. I don't love it. No offense if you obviously Villa Rosa VIP.
If your name is Randall, Refund.
If your name is Randall, if your dog's name is Refund, if your name is Refund, if you
your
want
dog's name is Randall,
and now you want a refund from us for the Patreon.
I mean, a dog named Randall, that is great.
I love it. Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah, and maybe I'm being just a little bit of a stinker towards Beau, but I just don't like that. Like that dog, when he goes to meet other dogs, he's like, "Yeah, my name's Refund. Yeah, I got a sarcastic, ironic hipster owner.
My dad's goofy.
Yeah, it's Refund because like he's gonna like want a refund. Anyway, okay.
Okay, Kyle Chan. We go here we were there on the Valley like 2 weeks ago. Except this is his old location when it was like in a private office.
This made me just think of a great idea. If you and I had one thing that was like really not valuable, but like one thing that we could just do in the Bravo universe that was tangentially related, like spray tan booths or whatever, anything, or the massage parlors that we come to your house and we say Amy and Riley's free massages. Like, you could just become the go-to thing for everyone. Like, Kyle Chan is just, like, all over the fucking place because people are like, this guy gives me a 30% off discount on jewelry. Who knows where the hell he's getting this shit, but...
Yes, I have some major questions on what happens here. Jax brings the Toms. His plan is to go to Neptune's Net, and Jax goes, you guys are gonna see, but, like... I went a little bigger than you would usually think, a little bit out of my price range, but I did get money when my dad passed away. So I want to put it into the ring because then I'll think of him every time I see it and it'll be totally worth it.
Well, that's Jax's excuse because Jeremiah keeps saying, you can't be rich. You can't be rich. You can't be rich. So Jax has to say when they say $70,000 ring, which what it ultimately is, that he has to have some justification for why he spent so much. Not that he's a millionaire at this point buying a really expensive ring.
That's like, so Kyle Chan says the stone alone for this would normally be $70,000. So that means that that's not even the total value of the ring because there's way more diamonds on like the band and like the setting and stuff. So I'm like, how much is it worth and how much did he pay?
No, yeah. I imagine what Kyle Chan says about all of this stuff and what it's worth. Imagine how nebulous all of anything that goes into a ring is. I have no clue. I bet it's 10 grand and he can just overinflate and say this cut costs 15,000. Apologies, but can you hear a horrible drill noise in the background?
Just a tad.
All right, let's take one quick break.
Just as magic. Is it Kyle Chan drilling?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have a. Oh my God! There is actually a person, and we're keeping this in because I hope it's not too horrible. But there is a person drilling right now. Let's pause for 1 second, Amy. I'm so sorry. All right, we're back. I'm sorry somebody was drilling right outside my window. You have no idea the things that take place in my home, around my home, what goes into making Turtle Time work. Sorry about that. But yeah, $70,000. I was saying that I don't think that Kyle Chan, I don't believe the estimation of any of this fucking shit for 1 second.
Because how different, I need a side-by-side of Luke on the Valley, what was his, like 14 or like 12? Like Kristen gave him a cap of 10,000 and he went a little over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how different of a size are those two rings? Like for 70 grand, I feel like Brittany's ring should be like unbelievable.
I know. Well, yeah, I think that you could say anything. I'm not a jeweler, nor will I claim to even be close to one. But I think that you could lie about the valuation metrics of a ring in every way to get to the most ludicrous price imaginable, and that's what I think. He goes, it's 3-carat 14s, and Jax goes, oh my god. 3-carat 14, and then the entire thing is a glittery diamond. It's on the ring, like the actual ring, and then, but like you said, 70,000. I want a little collapsible lid that opens up and it has another diamond inside of it. I would imagine that you'd get a lot better for 70, and maybe Jax. I couldn't imagine Jax spending over 10 grand of his own money on this.
It's unnecessary. Like, she could have a beautiful ring for 10 grand or 15 or whatever, but it's part of his personality disorders to make these poor decisions left and right. Like, I'm so worried about their money these days that I'm like, this was the beginning of the poor decisions. Like, there was no reason he needed to spend that much.
My wedding ring cost $16,000.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. And then Jax kisses the ring, literally, and he goes, "Thank you, Dad." Because it's like he never could have afforded this fake 70,000 ring without his dad's money.
Yeah, like that's actually a meaningful amount of money that could have gone towards a house. But okay. And this is where Sandoval sort of warns him, or says his concern that he's like, I just hope that you're not proposing just because she was there when your dad died. And Jax is like, absolutely, that's the reason. Like, of course. Like,
he goes, you just hit the nail on the head. That is why I'm doing it. Yes. That's absolutely the reason. Thanks for saying it. It's like, that's not what Sandoval meant. Also, I noticed this will be probably prevalent throughout the season, but Sandoval and Jax seem pretty removed from each other. When he says, I'm getting engaged on Thursday, Sandoval had no clue. Schwartz is right in the mix with it and knows every step of the way, but Sandoval is like, whoa, what? You are? And I was like, damn, you guys went from being the trio to now I think Sandoval and Jax are starting to not be close at all anymore. And we know that happens in season 8, but I think this might be the start of it.
Yes. We get an update. Brittany to Stassi tells her that she hung out with her ex while broken up and they did sleep together. She says that Jax does know that, and that around the time of his dad's death, they had been sort of off and on for a few months, trying, like, I think she kind of didn't want to get back together, but she fell back in and they were kind of doing this dance for a few months, and then his dad died and it was like she had no choice. And
it was Aaron who we met in that Kentucky episode. That's who she went back to and made love to. So Jax has met this person that Brittany wanted to have sex with. And she goes, I think a part of the reason why Jax wanted me back is because he didn't want me to have sex with other people.
Yeah, probably. We saw how well that went with Julian. In the Valley. Okay, so then we get Jax trying to figure out where to put the ring box. They're about to take an Uber to Malibu, which is kind of funny. They just take a real Uber, like a Lyft, like a shitty little sedan. I'm like, you couldn't have gotten like a black car or something, like just like hire a driver. It's like an actual Lyft, but then there's cameras inside.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is probably Jeremiah was saying, beep, beep, pop in my Uber. The cameras are all set up. Jax has a jacket. First off, black leather jacket. That's probably the easiest place to put it, not in next to your penis in your pants. But he was wearing tight pants, so you couldn't have put it anywhere else. He puts it next to he says penis and balls, and then he doesn't want Brittany to touch him in the Uber because if she gets too close to his penis, she'll feel a ring box. So he goes, God, I have to take a shit so fucking bad. Oh, he goes, it's really, really bad. And Jeremiah asks him in the confessional, he goes, did you have to actually take a shit that bad? And he goes, I did, but not nearly as bad as I made it seem in the Uber. And it's so funny, like perfect that Jax's road to proposing has him including the lie of him having to go to the bathroom really, really bad in it.
Yeah. So it starts with they do end up in a porta potty, and I'm like, imagine if he would have dropped the ring box in the porta potty.
Imagine just both of them in a porta potty right before. I like Neptune's Nest. I'm not going to talk shit about it, but when they do arrive, the editors are relishing in making this look like a hole in the wall pile of shit place. It's like a Malibu seafood shack. There's obviously like disgusting ketchup on all of the appliances there. It's like there's dust. There's seagulls that are waiting to take your French fry, and then he goes, I forgot this place had porta potties. And then they have to. Then Brittany, unfortunately, in a white dress, has to go into a porta potty, and when she opens it up, she goes, ew.
She knew what was about to happen, right?
Megan said that she absolutely knows. She goes, She's
beaming.
I'm so stupid and naive. I really think that Brittany was surprised, but then you think about it, it's like all the work that Jax put into it to do glam and to say we're going to Malibu and I'm getting the Uber. Like there is a lot of blaring signs that this is a more special event than what she's used to. But
date night.
But I still hold out hope that maybe she was surprised. But when we talk about the reaction, we'll talk about it. But in conjunction with this, at the exact same time, Katie and Tom Schwartz have Stassi and Kristen over. They're making cocktails, and Kristen, oh my God, talk about her fucking intuition. She's a sleuth. She had some random texts from Jax that made no sense. And then she texted Brittany, and Brittany goes, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know if we're going to El Coyote or not. And then Kristen's like, I'm so confused. Brittany, what's going on? I heard from Jax that you're supposed to be at El Coyote. Like the worst behavior ever for someone who actually thinks that a proposal is happening. ... I'm confused. What's happening? Text me back right now. And Katie's like,
please relax. And Katie doesn't believe. Kristen's like, he's definitely proposing tonight. Katie's like, I don't think so. Like, she just heard that tape about Faith like a year ago. Like, that's the wrong move. I don't think so. And Stassi keeps being like, Kristen, you're intuitive. And Kristen keeps being like, yeah, because like he sent this message and he said this, and she's like, I said you were intuitive. And she's like, yeah, like it was really weird. He texted me whatever. And she's like, I said you got it right. He's proposing. She's like, I knew it.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's an amazing scene. Also, like, Katie doesn't get what she's saying either. Katie's like, let Stassi keep talking. But also, Katie has the most confused face I've ever seen. And, like, they don't understand what Stassi is trying to say that this is true. We won't get into all the, like, texting shit, but it's just, like, it was so ridiculous how Jax, like, tried to set this up. Just tell Kristen, say, please don't text Brittany. Like, you know what's happening. Like, just that day, he could have sent out a text to stop this. So even, you can almost rationalize that Kristen could have spoiled it for Brittany by all of those confused texts that she was sending. You know, it's right. Like, because she was like, I heard a completely fake story about you guys going to El Coyote. But anyway, back to Malibu. Have you been to Neptune's Nest?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Net?
Oh. What the fuck? I'm thinking of Neptune's Nest. No, sorry.
That's totally different.
Sorry, it's Neptune's Net, like King Neptune grabbed a bunch of fish and started frying them.
Yes, I have. And one time I went and I got oysters, and I regretted it because they were as big as my tongue, and I was like, I can't eat these.
So
they were just too fucking big.
Whoa, I forget what I've had. They're probably just a big fish sandwich. But there's some like logistical stuff that's a nightmare for proposing. Jax is a 10 out of 10 on the nervous scale, which I can relate to. I was a 10 out of 10 on the nervous scale when I proposed to Megan. Every decision is like compounded 100 times, all this logistics. But this place is a fucking shit show logistically with the different windows and to get the crab cakes at one window versus the other one. He's just like
There's
running
like
around.
Fry food is one area, and like the raw stuff is another. He goes into like the raw bar area, and he turns to the camera and he goes, I'm so fucking nervous.
And Brittany's like, I'm gonna get the tartar sauce here, so don't leave your wallet there. And he's like, okay, go get tartar sauce. Sorry, I gotta go get the crab legs. When are those crab legs coming out? I need to know immediately. Are they 5 minutes or 10 minutes? It's like, why did it hinge? He wanted the crab legs. He wanted the ring and the crab legs. He couldn't have just said, while we're waiting, I'm going to bring a tray back and say I got our appetizer. It didn't.
Yeah. the timing like doesn't work out. He's like, just give me a fucking tray. Give me a tray, any tray. I don't care. Just give me a tray.
He goes, they put my crab legs at the other fucking window. Give me a tray right now. And then he goes, darling. We're kind of skipping over it. It's all really funny and has this like chaotic energy. Like I was imagining the people at Neptune's Net like watching this guy scramble, being like, what is this guy being filmed for? He's like going nuts. And then he goes, just give me the fucking tray. And then he turns into that full beaming fake Jax or kind of nice Jax, whatever. And he goes, darling, look what I have. And even Brittany, when she sees the ring box on the tray, doesn't say anything. She's kind of just shocked. And I don't know if I really truly believe that Brittany is a good enough actor to pull off knowing something and faking it in the moment. She's not a great actor. No offense to Brittany. She's everything else good. But faking the reaction to a huge thing like this, she seems legitimately surprised and taken aback. That's, I think, why I
think even if you know you're about to get proposed to, when it actually happens, it's still like emotional and shocking. Like with the Kyle and Amanda on Summer House, like I'm sure she had suspicions on that boat ride or whatever, and she still like completely cries. I would say the worst acting of surprises, as always, Lindsay Hubbard, the yes, 1,000 times yes. Like she couldn't even pretend to be shocked for a single second.
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Oh my God! If you're gonna fake like you don't know something, don't have like a line ready to say. That was definitely shocking. They still contend that was
police.
Yeah. Okay. And then Jax goes, "Will you make me the happiest man at Neptune's Net?" And get in my net metaphorically as my wife. And Brittany goes, oh my God, yes, I love you so much.
They're like kissing and she's sobbing while they're kissing and their faces are pressed together and she's like
she goes, you said she goes, I knew this boy had it in him. I knew he would take a wife someday. And then she goes, I'm engaged. And then she goes, I'm engaged. And she goes, you said, will you be my wife? And her and Jax are just, on cloud 9.
It's brutal to watch. You're like, you are signing your death certificate. Like, don't do it.
I remember that's what James says when she posts her photo next episode. I remember this moment. Jax has this like leering grin on his face in the Instagram. And James is like, it looks like she signed a deal with the devil with Jax. Because he's going, hey, I got her.
He looks the most like the devil we've ever seen.
Yeah. Would you say he looks more like a cartoon of the devil current day or in this era?
He's getting more devil-like as we go.
So a full progression. Like you could say that this is arguably the most devilish he's ever looked.
He's more red.
Yeah, now. Totally. Where do you say, we're going to end pretty soon because this person has to start drilling behind my head. Proposals, a lot of people mock this one. Megan is a huge in my house. She says this place looks like shit. Why would you ever get engaged at like a place with porta potties? They're dressed up too nice. I know that he eventually says his dad loved the big oysters here or something, so he wanted to go somewhere that had a connection to his dad. But
yeah, it should have been more casual, like they went for a beach day and then went to Neptune's Net. Like that would have been more romantic, I think, than like getting all gussied up to go to like the most casual place in history. But they also, I was just watching And Just Like That season 2, and Miranda does a beach cleanup and she loses her phone and she has to tell someone where to pick her up, and she's by Neptune's Net.
No way. Oh my God, that is so cool. I watched season 3, episode 1. Are you watching first?
I'm trying to. I have a few more. I'm going to rewatch and then I'll start it. But I know what happens.
Well, I'll tell you my true thoughts off air. But I have to say, absolutely rapturous episode.
Craziest show on television.
Yeah. No, it's I just it's. I'll tell you off mic. But anyway.
Okay. Well, technically, this is an ad-free iteration of the show. So
okay.
It's not sponsored.
Oh, all right. Can I say it? You care?
Pure shit.
Oh, it's some of the worst. It's some of the worst writing I've ever seen in my life. And this one is. This one was written.
Listen to the Writers' Room podcast.
Oh my God! Should I not say this? No. Okay. On the main feed, I will never say anything.
No, I think it's actually. Like, I'm being honest with you. I like listening to the Writers' Room podcast because you hear them justifying these insane storylines, and I that's why I listen to it.
Okay.
Like it's funny. Like, you're like, what were y'all thinking?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I need
That's
to
a real endorsement.
Then I need to listen to season 3, episode 1 of the Writers Room podcast, because I want to know what the hell Michael Patrick King was thinking when he was writing this thing. It's just like, I don't have the affinity for Sex and the City, obviously, that you have. I like it fine.
These are not the same.
Of course not. But I think the humor level overall of Sex and the City is like, I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. The humor level of And Just Like That is a 2 out of 10. I mean, they make the worst, most cliched, obvious references whenever they're trying to do something. They'll be like, I was going to go in the ocean and I felt like a god. And then they'll be like, who are you? King Neptune? And it's like, oh my God, someone fucking wrote that. The most generic, basic thing.
I just watched Che Diaz's comedy concert and they go, I'm in LA now, so I Uber everywhere. I Ubered from my bathroom to my kitchen.
I remember that from last season.
I was like, tomato, 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 like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's absolutely shocking to me what Michael Patrick King allowed to be written on his typewriter or on his computer and released it to the world. And then I remember I was like, wasn't he a co-creator of The Comeback?
Yeah.
I would say The Comeback's humor is like a 9 out of 10. I was like, who was helping Michael Patrick King out on The Comeback and made that an iconic show? And then just completely, he fucking shits the bed metaphorically when he's writing And Just Like That. It's like, anyway, but
I forgot that they had Carrie piss the bed on season 1.
Oh my God. Wait till you see season 3, episode 1. I saw somebody do a perfect meme. One of my friends posted a meme. They go, well, that was the worst episode of television I've ever seen, but the premiere of And Just Like That. Can't wait for the next one. I was like, that's how everyone feels. You're like almost watching it as an experiment.
That was like, I forgot that I have to recalibrate for this show. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. And then the next tweet is best show I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, it is interesting to watch it from that lens. Like, what are you all doing?
It has a fun community element. Like it's great for the internet.
Yes, but here's a huge drawback. Michael Patrick King, stop writing topical fucking shit in this thing. Like, stop talking about COVID. Stop talking about.
God, they still talk about COVID on
No,
season 3?
but stop talking about Erewhon and Whole Foods, and stop saying like that's a microaggression. It's like it's so clearly trying to cater to like a new generation, and that stuff is going to age like fucking milk. Like,
I mean, watching season 1 this week, it's insane. They talk about COVID 400 times. They talk about like all the jargon, like POC, like LGBT, like they're just so self-aware.
Yeah,
it's like hanging over them in every word they say.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do a Michael Patrick King joke. 6 feet social distancing. I'd rather have a 6-foot guy.
I'd rather have a 6-inch cock.
Yeah, it's I can't wait for you to watch. I know you're catching it, but let me know when you watch season 3, episode 1, and we'll lie our asses off on the main feed. But anyway,
if you guys listen to us there, just know we have a gun to our head.
But we hope you like that. Our first host read ad. That's a huge accomplishment.
I think it's funny. I literally did listen to that podcast the first couple seasons, and I would text my friends about the details of it because it almost makes it even funnier the way that they like back up their choices.
I can't imagine that. I mean, it will be good to. I would listen to the writers' room genuinely because I want to hear them justify some of the things here. Okay, all right. Well, good. I'm glad that you and I talked about this. Villa Rosa VIPs, thank you so much for being here every week. Vote in that competition to find out what the next Turtle Time trip is going to be. We thank you for all of your discourse and comments. We read everyone and think about them for months. So keep participating that way. Amy and I love you. You're the life force of Turtle Time, and we will be back next week talking about season 7, episode 2.
Yep, the engagement party and pride.
All right. Think about that all week, and then we'll see you back on Monday. Bye.
Bye.